Hey guys!
Hey!
Back again with another episode.
A very special episode with some special guests. We have Sheldon and Latisha. Oh, I should say the Frasers.
Yes.
And I want to say that Sheldon is the first male guest on this new platform.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
For real.
So that
Look
is
at
an
it.
honor because,
That's an honor.
Yes.
Am I supposed to set a tone?
Yes.
Yes.
You
Set the
are.
tone.
This is
Yes.
going to decide if we have another male guest
Literally.
on the podcast.
I don't know if I can do that, but I'll do my
Better
best.
meet their expectations.
Do my best. I'm gonna do my best.
So it's lovely to have you guys here. Oh,
Thank
so
you.
Cute.
Oh, I love it.
Love the matching outfits.
I know. Oh, I didn't
I try to do a coordination in it all.
cute.
I try.
They're in the newlywed honeymoon bliss. Love to see it.
Right?
How are you guys?
We're good. We're good.
Yeah.
I want to say, thank you for having us.
Of course.
Aw.
It's different. We've never done something like this before, so it's actually really cool.
I have.
All right, buddy. All
Together.
buddy.
Together.
Yes.
Together.
Thank you.
Together.
As
Thank
one.
you.
Together. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It's,
As the Frasers.
It's really
Yes,
interesting.
hashtag
and
the phrase.
Should be a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So how has your... Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, no. I was just going to say, yeah, I'm good.
Okay, so we usually start off by saying how our weeks have been. So, Deja, how's your week been?
I'm going first. Okay. My week's been stressful. Just life is lifing. Work, school, life. Yeah. So
Seriously.
just getting through one day at a time.
You should take a break.
I know I'm trying to go on vacation, but I'm just trying to be very strategic. I don't know when.
But when and where?
Because
and
all
that.
these damn birthdays are coming up. So
Yeah.
Isn't your friend group is back to back to back?
Their
back
birthday
to
season
back
is
to
now.
back. Yeah.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
it's
I was going to say, maybe
crazy.
try to
How
go for
deep
the
does it
long
go?
weekend. Like May 2 4
Oh
weekend?
no, I can't. Actually, yeah, the birthdays will be done, but my money, I'm spending it all now.
It'll be ran through.
No,
Yeah.
birthdays are expensive. You didn't ask me how my week is, but I was going to tell you.
Okay.
So,
Okay,
you didn't ask me yet, but let me tell you guys. Speaking
I
of
ask you
birthdays.
every single time.
Speaking of birthdays, let me tell you guys. So, it was my man's birthday, so I understand. My pockets are... I can't believe you have been doing this for years.
Yeah.
Because at least when it's your friends, it's
Yeah.
like you're splitting it, right?
Yeah.
Let's split
No,
her
you're
dinner.
right.
Let's split the cake.
Yeah.
When
You
it's
know
your
what to split
man,
with.
it's
All of it's on your
you.
shoulders.
As it should
Every-
be. As it should be.
Every dime, every dollar.
And I'm looking at the dinner bill like, damn, this is what you pay. This is what, this is what you're paying when we
This is
go
what
out.
you be
This is
doing.
crazy.
It's like, oh.
I was like, but you just have to act like, oh, it's
Yeah,
great, it's good. But no, obviously, he deserves and all those things, HBD. But yeah, so it was my mom's birthday. So, I did a lot of activities. I feel like I'm coming back down to reality because his birthday was on the long weekend, right? So we did something for every day of the long weekend.
Damn.
Yes, we did.
Crazy.
Wow.
So
that's
it was
amazing.
like a mix of partying, relaxing, family, not friends, but yeah.
That can be another weekend.
No, that has nothing to do with
No,
me.
yeah.
He can celebrate with his
Literally.
friends, so they can have him now. I've done my job.
It's only the friends in the family you need. I mean, the family that you have to worry
and
about.
us.
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah,
I agree.
It was nice. How's your week?
I think it was good. It was the Easter weekend, so we went to 2 different Easter dinners. Rather than that, I was just working. I worked on the Good Friday, and then I was off on Saturday, Sunday, and then I worked on the Monday. So that
Time and a half
time
bread.
and a
Yeah,
half.
I got that on the Monday still. I
Yeah.
had to pause the festivities, go to work, and
just to
come
go
back.
exactly because
I
I'm not
need
trying
that
to miss
money.
a check.
Yeah.
And then
facts.
Tuesday I was just at work, and then today at work. So I've just been working, in the gym.
Period.
Love to see it.
That's really about it. How about you?
You're asking me how my week was?
How was your week?
My week was calm. I didn't really do much. We were off for the long weekend once again, so I was
Right.
home for the 4 days.
Yeah, he's a 9 to 5er. He gets that.
Saturday.
Wait, you got Monday off too?
Yeah,
Yes.
the
Oh,
4
because
days.
it's
love
for the
that.
government. Because some people didn't get the Monday off.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
They
Some
only
people
got
have
the
to
I
go.
Friday.
didn't understand that. Like,
'Cause
why?
they
I
don't
think
work
it
for the government.
depends. It depends.
I think it's only government people that either
Like-
get the time and a half or get it both off.
Because the hospital too, all the admin people were not at work that day.
Yes,
Our manager wasn't that
management.
there
Yeah.
or anything like that. So Like, I guess.
I think it's the essential workers and the government people who either work it and get the time and a half, and then the other people, they have to work the Monday but not the Friday.
Yeah, so you had 4 days off. Wasn't that nice?
So I was off for the 4 days. Saturday we had dinner with my family, and Sunday we had dinner with my brother and his girlfriend's family, which was nice. Both days were nice.
They're always so fun.
Monday was calm, and then today's Wednesday, so between yesterday and today, it's back at
chilling.
work. Yeah. Back at work.
Love that.
Back to the grind.
So earlier we were talking about how Pooh Shiesty and his father kidnapped Gucci because Gucci wouldn't let him out of the record deal, right?
Yeah, that's what they're saying, yeah.
And like I seen the press conference. What is it called when the police are telling us what happens? The press conference.
I think it is a press conference.
Yeah, it's a press conference.
Yeah. So they were telling us how. What's Pooh Shiesty's real name?
Oh, I can't tell you. Yeah.
Well, his father is a senior. All of
Yeah,
they have the same name.
Yeah,
He's a junior.
yeah.
So whatever their name was, senior and
It's the
junior.
same name.
Yes, I don't know. They arrested them, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
The two of them and Big 30. The other one, Big 30, the other rapper involved. Yes, the three of them, yeah.
I seen this TikTok of how they're making fun of him doing his mugshot, and he had the shiesty on. In the mugshot.
But do you see how they're saying that Gucci is a snitch because
What though? Because of what?
Because I guess I don't know if he called the police. I don't know how the police became involved
They kidnapped
in
him,
this
though.
matter, but they're saying he's a snitch.
I mean,
He was, so apparently,
you got kidnapped.
He
I'm
was-
snitching to the
they
police.
had a meeting, and during the meeting is when they decided to pull out the things and have things go from there. So it's not like they grabbed him and took him somewhere. They just locked him into the room with a bunch of other
Still
people.
kidnapping.
And then
But how did the police become involved? That's
someone, I don't know if I read this correctly, but I think two of his security guards were like ex-cops or something like that. Something along
called
those
the
lines.
cops.
Giving
That
panic
makes
Um,
more sense.
So someone must have called the police at some point when they got a chance to say this is what's happening and so on and so
when
forth.
niggas are just doing anything. Like, why didn't he just call his lawyer? Like, why?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, why are you
Well, that's what
kidnapping
you
him?
said earlier. That Pooh
Which I
Shiesty
see, I think he likes jail. There's you just came out recently,
Yeah.
and now you're going back. And don't get me wrong, I understand when you live a certain lifestyle, you know, these are the things that you think are normal, and you know your behaviors are going to match a certain way. But you have a way out. Why not actually use it confidently?
Because it's a mentality. I feel
It
like
is.
when people start those things, like, yeah, it might be about money, but if, like you said, if you're growing up in that environment and that's how you know how to get what you want, you're going to revert back to those ways when you find
Exactly.
yourself in a situation, right?
Yes.
But that, you know what? I think, like, these people that come up, once you start getting money, you need to go to, like, money management classes. You
Yeah.
need to go to therapy. You need to,
Literally.
like,
Get a
and
business
this is-
certificate or some.
Yeah.
Go talk to Jay-Z. Like,
Yeah.
have dinner with Jay-Z.
A one-on-one.
Yeah.
You need to know
Because-
how to like handle yourself.
Yeah.
Yes,
Have some
that's-
decorum.
Have some
That's-
decorum.
yeah.
Decorum.
That's really what it
Seriously.
comes down to. But I guess another thing is if you truly live what you rap about, then should we be surprised?
We're not surprised. We're disappointed.
I
Yeah.
agree. But should we be disappointed in the fact that he's living what he says he does?
For sure. All
So-
of that lifestyle is, we understand that that lifestyle comes out of like circumstance and poverty and whatever. But it's disappointing that is the lifestyle that you're living.
To us, there's other people who are like, oh yeah,
Well,
he did
they're
it
a
right.
disappointment too. like, like,
It's like,
you
are
know,
you gonna always
don't
be
get
in
me
the
wrong.
gutter? Are you always
Yeah.
gonna be fighting for your life? Are you always gonna be
Yeah.
busting guns? Are you always gonna be?
Some people, that's what they want. They want to know the
With
rapper they're
millions in your
listening
pocket?
to are
This
really
is what
living
you're
that
doing?
lifestyle. Like I said, that's what some
it's
people like.
it's a mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more than like trying to get money, right? It's both. So even though he has money, and speaking of rappers who don't know how to keep their money, Offset. So Offset recently got
Offset.
shot by Lil TJ, which Lil TJ is a rapper too,
Wait,
but I've
it was
never
by
heard a
Lil
song of
TJ?
him. Yeah, Lil TJ.
No, you do.
Wait,
you do know
what?
Little TJ.
What is
song.
a Lil TJ
I
song?
don't know, but there is one song that
There's
he
a
has
really
that's
popular
really
song he
popular.
had long ago,
Maybe
long time
during
ago.
COVID, before COVID?
I think
somewhere
so.
around
Maybe like
that
before
timeline.
COVID, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a song that I don't know what it's called now. I never really
I know,
listened to
I
him
can't.
myself.
See,
but he had
remember.
one
poor people,
song.
nobody knows the song, so
Yeah.
you know what I mean. But
But he's like the yeller, right? Like he yells.
I
his
think
songs.
I don't know.
No,
I just
it's not
remember
the-
seeing a really popular song and it was Lil TJ, Lil
There is
TJ,
one.
Lil TJ,
Yeah.
and it's not TJ. He spells
does he have a
his
song
name.
with
No, it's little
Pop
J-A-Y.
Smoke or no?
J-A-Y, yeah.
Yeah,
Does he?
J-A-Y.
He has a song with Pop Smoke, I think.
Couldn't
And
tell
I
you
think I
song.
actually like that song. I think it's for the night.
Maybe like because of Pop Smoke, not because of TJ.
Whatever. Anyway, so apparently Lil TJ shot Offset because Offset owes him money.
Okay.
And apparently,
yeah.
Offset is $900,000 in gambling debt.
Yes, he's a gambler. I seen this thing, this tweet. It was like this. I think he's like a NFL player or something. I can't remember his name.
Des Bryant?
Yeah.
Des Bryant, yes.
Yeah,
and he
Des
was
Bryant.
saying
I think one of you guys sent that TikTok in the group chat, right?
and how he owed, like Offset owed him $8,000 and he tried to like get that money from him, but then Offset's two guys were like, no, like get out of here. And then he just was like, okay, you know what? I'll just hug losing the $8,000, no problem. But then he's saying how he's not surprised that he has all this gambling debt and people are shooting him.
That's so embarrassing.
That's so embarrassing.
And I just feel like it goes to show, like, usually when people break up, like if one of them's trash and one of them was like, not the victim, but more like, you know what I mean? Like, that person is like this and the other person is on the decline. Because
so true.
Cardi B is literally on a world tour and this guy is getting shot because he owes money and he's 900, like
gambling debt. Like,
you know what I mean?
Gambling debt.
Do you know how much? Not crippling. Do you know how much clout the Migos had?
So much. They had back in the day.
They had a run.
They had
if he took that money and invested that, even if he wasn't up right now anymore,
exactly, he would have still been comfortable.
Obviously, he didn't, and the Migos are not going to make a comeback. So
you know what Offset gives? He gives that like when he was in high school, he was not cute. And then when he got Migos, he got a lot of money and then
attention from women.
And now he's like, I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
You know?
Interesting take, yeah.
I don't know.
I think he's a sex addict.
He's just a bum. Like, even the photo when he was in the hospital, like
so embarrassing.
The man was in
he's like in the hospital gown, he's in the hospital and he's outside smoking
a cigarette and wearing the grippy socks.
The nurses are with him. Like,
yes, like
it's just
grippy
so
socks and all, and he's just like hanging off the.
Oh my
he just looked. Honestly, he looked homeless.
Oh
yeah. I know Cardi's pissed.
I would be too.
Yeah,
because you're so embarrassing. I would be pissed because you make. Now people can be like, this is who you're with?
I know.
Like, ew.
That's why, honestly, like, I always say that, like, loving a man is so embarrassing. Like,
I mean,
there's so much potential to be embarrassed.
That can go either way. Because they're, listen, you can, hold on. That can go either way.
Sheldon, there's
as much as
3
you say,
against 1 here.
Hold on.
You're not going to make it.
Let me just say this.
It.
Loving in any direction, that person can be embarrassing.
Can you give an example?
Okay.
Of like the other way around.
Yeah, like women doing it.
I'm trying to think of any famous women.
Take your time.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's name a couple men.
Yeah. Oh, there's many. Jay-Z.
Embarrassing.
That's true. That's Kalani was embarrassing. Yes. Hold on.
That narrative?
No. That was embarrassing.
Thing?
Yes, for Kyrie. That was embarrassing.
Oh my.
There we go. That's actually true.
Okay,
that was
why
one
was
thing.
It embarrassing?
How was
because imagine, first off, the world is finding out that you and your girlfriend aren't together anymore from seeing a picture of a guy saying, I'm with your girl. Pretty much. That's embarrassing. So now you're like, even if they were broken up beforehand, we don't know that.
Yeah,
we don't know that.
But
for the world to find out a certain way, that's embarrassing.
But it's just
then we have to come clean and say, oh, this is what's happening. That's the problem.
But that's a sticky one.
But it's not like the ones we have.
I just feel like there's so much potential for men to be trash. Like beyond like cheating, like that one is like at this point, like but like beyond cheating, it's just like they're embarrassing. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's the way they think.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
How they move, their
behavior. It's just like,
but not every guy is like that.
For sure not.
For sure not. But like a large percentage.
I think, you know what?
I got to stand up for my guys.
A large percentage.
You know what I have to say? I think every woman in a relationship is dealing with something that another woman wouldn't deal with. Not to say it's horrible. Like, let's say, for example, you and your man split things 50-50. That could work for you.
But that doesn't mean...
I'm not going for that.
Yeah.
If that was in my relationship, I wouldn't be happy. Right? Or like, so not necessarily something negative, or like, let's say your man is not romantic, he doesn't buy you flowers. Some girls, they don't care about those things.
Yeah.
If you were to ask my mom, oh, do you care that he doesn't buy you flowers? She'd be like, what am I going to do with flowers? Right? Me personally, I need the flowers.
Yeah.
Right? So
That's true.
I think
I agree.
there's so many things where you listen to it as I'm like, couldn't be me, but there's something about your relationship that couldn't be somebody else.
Yes, that's true. And yes, I 100% agree with that. And that, once again, either way, because even for guys, there's a lot of things that, you know, some women do that guys don't like. And some guys will be like, well, that wouldn't fly with me. Whereas other guys are like, you know, it's
That's
whatever.
true.
So it's really situational.
But I feel like it's a lot easier to like, I shouldn't say that. Never mind.
No, say it.
Say it, dude.
No, I was gonna say like it's a lot easier to like please a man. Like it's more general. Like you don't really have to do much.
Yes, because we're more
men are
accepting.
easy.
It's not
You guys
easy.
are
Like it's so
simple
hard.
Yes,
creatures,
we're
you
more
know?
accepting of things. So we are
in
very,
what way?
when I say that is
When you
like
frame it like
we are
that.
simple. We are
I
simple
think I
creatures.
see what you're
between
saying.
the two.
No, I
That's what I'm
think I
saying.
see what he's saying.
We are simple creatures where it's like we don't complain about as much things, or we don't find problems in a lot of things, whereas you guys might have more issues with little things. We might just overlook it and be like, okay, you know, that's whatever. Whereas,
but I feel like that causes problems. I
And it
feel
can,
like
yes.
men that don't like I wouldn't say that little. Okay, yes, in general, women care about a lot more things maybe than men do.
Yeah.
But I still think that at the end of the day, we're all human.
Of course.
We all have feelings. This whole thing of like women being more emotional, I just think women express their emotions in a more emotional way, if that
Yes,
makes sense.
100%.
Right? It will still hurt your feelings, but you might not express it in that way. So
Yeah.
I feel like when men suppress it and they hold it down, then it could lead to resentment.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then when they finally say this is what's bothering me, you're like, whoa, so this whole time we've been doing this.
Like why didn't
Yeah.
you say something from the beginning?
Yeah.
you're not wrong. And that's very true. Because a lot of guys, once again, they do let a lot of things slide. You know, it's like one thing might annoy you, but you're like, all right, whatever. Like, I don't know. You know, the 10 things she did today were better than the one thing. So you just let it slide. And you keep letting it happen to that point where then you finally surface it. When I surface it to you, then it's
new
why
to
didn't
you.
you tell me? You
Now
know what
you're
I mean?
feeling attacked. Yeah.
Whereas you guys are more, the one thing happens and it's like, you shouldn't have let that happen.
communicative
Why did this happen? Yes, 100%. So.
Yeah. But I feel like I also feel like men don't listen to talking. Like you
Not
you have to make actions.
Some do, some yes.
No, I don't think I think like if you I think if you tell me I'm gonna leave you, I'm gonna leave you, and like, yeah. When you leaving me, he's like, oh shit.
There's a lot of men that are like that who are very much so like
it's all talk.
You're just yapping. And then when you finally do act on it, they're like, oh shit, like I didn't really think you were serious. That is a true thing, yes.
Yeah. It's true. And like me and Latisha have talked about this a lot. Like there's so many things like I've learned from watching my parents' marriage. Cause like there'll be so many times where like, let's say my dad is doing something to upset my mom. She doesn't talk. She's like, yeah, okay.
She just moves.
She's like, yeah, okay.
Noted.
And then like she doesn't say nothing. And then eventually you'll see him come back and do the thing that she was requesting or whatever. And like she just says like she doesn't talk too much. When it comes to certain things, she doesn't talk. Or like even another thing too, like, you know, like men are sometimes very prideful, right? So like let's say you're trying to do something, or like, okay, for example, when me and my parents went to Ghana, right? My dad, we were going to see my aunt or something, and my dad was like, let's say, trying to pack the car a certain way, right? And it just didn't make sense. Or whatever he was trying to do just didn't make sense. And I was kind of like, Mommy, tell your husband that doesn't make sense. And she was like, no, it's okay, wait. So when it didn't make sense and it didn't work out, she didn't say nothing. But I know he's thinking, fuck, I should have just did it the way that they were saying it.
Yeah.
But now next time he's going to know. But if she talks, then it's going to diminish, you know what I mean? It's going to diminish his spirit. So she just lets him figure it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
But those games, all those reindeer games, it's only worth it if it's a good man. All of that, I'm not doing that for just anybody's
like you're
son.
like protecting his ego.
Yes, you have to.
Yeah.
You have to, man. It is what it is.
Man.
I hate to say that.
There's
It's
a
against
certain
my
level,
aesthetic,
yes.
but it
There's definitely a certain level.
Aesthetic.
it is what it is.
Yeah, I agree. There's a certain level of you have to let men make mistakes on their own. Because if you try and correct them too much, like you said, their pride, especially very prideful or egotistical guys, they might be, annoyed that you're trying to tell them how to do certain things.
Even if you're right.
Yes, exactly. Because they believe my way is the right way. so it needs to be done this way.
Like
And sometimes you have to learn the hard way that, you know,
What if
I
that's
think
not how it
men are
works.
better learning things the hard way.
Yes,
What if I
yes,
just
they are.
know it's like, you just have to, unless it's like
Supposed to be that
detriment,
way,
something that's
yeah.
detrimental.
Yes.
Like if
Yeah.
it's like something that's gonna fuck up your mortgage, obviously not.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if it's like, you know, let's take the highway instead of the main way, just
You know,
let them
and
do it, man.
realistically, a lot of guys, you know, they have to learn to just hug it and be like, all right, you know, I messed up. Next time this isn't gonna happen like that.
You
You know
gotta
what I
take
mean?
ownership that you messed up.
No, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They do. They have to hug it and like literally accept.
But even
the
if he
mistake.
does, you know, he's feeling dumb in his head, like fuck,
Some-
like this shit.
But
I
doesn't
would really
here's the
hope so.
thing. Sometimes you will feel dumb, but you're not going to say nothing. You're just going to be quiet.
But-
You're like, oh shit, I fucked up, right? But then the minute you say it now, like, oh, why would you do that? Now some guys are going to be like, oh, you know,
On the
all right,
defense.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But low key or high key, they know themselves they messed
Yeah.
up. But it's just like, I don't need you to tell me I messed up. I already
But
know
you
I
see
messed
that,
up.
all,
You know?
like I said, all these reindeer games.
I know.
It's just
It's too
it's
much.
too much.
But
Yeah.
but that's why, like I said, you have to be first and foremost with a good person, and then like a good man, you know, to where like Sheldon is saying, like he's recognizing himself, like okay, I messed up, and taking accountability. Not like okay, I'm the man, so like yeah,
What I
it's
did
Yes,
go.
this
Yeah.
is it.
Yeah.
Even if I mess up, this is still the way it has to be.
Because I'll be like, you messed up.
Yeah. Like you take
You-
accountability.
I know
You messed up.
like you messed up.
I told you. Why didn't you listen to me? But it's
Okay.
okay. Now we know. Now you know.
All right. Buddy. All right, buddy.
Okay, so one thing I forgot to say when I was introducing you guys is I've actually known you guys both for such a long time.
Yes.
I've known Sheldon since grade 3. We went
Yeah,
to
I was
elementary
thinking
school
about that
together.
too.
Yeah, so
And we
cute.
actually live like literally like a 45-second walk away from each
Oh
other.
shit.
Like her house is right behind. Like sorry,
In front of my house.
Yeah.
Right? And then Latisha moved here when we were in grade 10. So again, I've known you for a long time as well.
Yeah.
And I've seen you guys from the beginning. I've seen
Yes.
your love
Period.
story to where you guys are now. It's been very lovely to see. So we're just gonna ask you guys a little 1-2. And because the last episode, Deja was talking about.
Yes. What were we talking about though? Like, how did we get
We were
there?
talking about, we were reflecting on our 20s because you were talking about you turning 30.
Oh God. Yeah.
It's okay. I'm 32.
I forgot.
okay.
I
We're
forgot
together.
I'm in my 30s now.
We're 29.
Oh, okay,
We're-
but you're
we're
turning
together.
30 soon. It's
We're
coming.
together.
No, I'm
We're
a
yeah?
young, I'm a
Okay.
young 29.
Sure,
She's
please.
like in her mid 29.
No. I have like 5 months.
But mine's in November, so
Young 29 is crazy.
I'm a
Moni.
young
She's
29.
fresh
We're all in
29.
the same year. So.
Yeah, literally, we're all the same here.
You
It's
gotta-
coming.
I mean,
You
being
gotta-
born,
you
being born
gotta
in
accept it.
February, like people just be turning not 29 and you guys be turning 30. Like that's
Oh,
great.
you guys are both
But-
February.
Yeah.
Hold on. But where were the benefits when, you know, let's look back in.
Oh, I didn't have that problem. I was using her ID.
see, look at that.
And it
But look,
works every
see,
time.
But
which
see,
is
the
so
benefits,
crazy.
the benefits of having a friend who turns, you know, the age
True.
earlier than you and don't know.
Yeah.
You guys are all coming asking for drinks.
Oh, yeah. You,
You know?
did come. You did
Right.
come clutch with that.
No,
Yes.
I turned 18 in Dominican.
you go
Oh my
to
God,
Domo?
we were
Yes.
at Dominican.
Yes, we did.
Yes.
And
Were you guys at the
us-
same Dominican church?
Yes.
Yes. Us who turned 18
And
before
we're
we
getting
went.
drinks for everyone.
Yes,
That
exactly.
was literally. I
So-
probably think that's the first time that we did meet. But it was
No, I think so.
We just like you because you knew Bridget at that point, and it was.
You were
just-
like, yeah. I was like, you guys are Bridget's friends.
Yes,
Yeah. Mhm.
Wow, throwback.
Throwback.
We're
yeah.
actually old guys.
No,
It's okay.
that's crazy.
You know, I've come to accept it. I know some people don't, you know, especially with people saying like, oh, you're unc, you're auntie, or whatever.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I accept it at this point. I don't care anymore.
Are
Call me
we unc and
That's
auntie?
No,
fine.
we're not. No,
I think
we're
we're
not.
big sis and big bro.
Yes,
I
I
don't
think we're
know,
big sis,
man.
big bro.
I've accepted unc status. I don't care anymore.
No,
I'm
But
at
Sheldon,
that
you know
point
what?
in
You know
life.
what, Sheldon? I've actually accepted auntie status too. You know
do.
why? Because when I chose you guys and you guys are doing all this sexy red stuff, I literally I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, where's the Mary J? Like, can we listen? Like, if my hood rap music is like Future and Migos,
Yeah,
like maybe
yeah,
some
yeah,
Kodak
yeah.
Black, like
Nah.
all this sexy
Yeah.
red and all kind of stuff. I'm just like, I don't know what's
I
happening.
don't feel like I'm in tune with it.
I'm not. I'm an old hoe. Like literally, like I've accepted it.
No
When we went to
facts.
the Cardi B concert, they were like playing. You know when they play like other music in the beginning before it starts, right? They're playing like all kind of music, and then they did the R&B set. I said, "Yes, this is my shit. Like, let me get up and dance. Like, I don't
That's good.
understand what you guys are talking about." So
No,
I hear
it's
you
true.
still.
You should see at home half the music I play is usually like
Oh my
90s,
gosh,
early
like,
2000s
Yeah.
hits.
Even
Yeah.
yeah,
She,
Player's Prayer.
yeah, it's a big track.
Best track.
Big track.
I'm
She,
screaming.
Bar for bar.
yeah, Latisha, what did Brianna play the other day? Official Girl.
Yes.
What she know about that song? But you know what? Brianna has older influence.
She does.
Even when we were getting ready for the wedding, she was playing music.
Yeah.
And she was playing, when I was at your house doing the name thing, she was playing like our music.
Yeah, because she's the youngest and Oliver said like the
Much
eldest
older,
sibling is
yeah.
what, 36? So
Yeah.
she has like 10 years between the top, like the oldest to the youngest. So all that influence
Would be her.
would be from there. But yet no, Official Girl.
Yeah,
That's
I'm not gonna lie. That's the disconnect between us. Because when you guys do those things, I'm like, yeah, right. But in my head, I'm like, what the fuck?
I'm screaming.
Anyway, go on, Deja.
Yeah, so I don't know how that topic came up, but basically we were talking about how in your 20s, specifically like early 20s and getting into a relationship, typically if you make it until where you guys made it to, you're 29, late 20s, 30s, you guys grew together. But there's a lot of people who grew apart in their 20s. And like how, I guess, difficult that is to grow or to choose to grow together. Because I feel like it's definitely a choice that you guys have to make. And then when is it enough to be like, okay, like maybe this just is not for me. Maybe we're just two different people, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, for you guys, I guess my first question to you is how did you find your 20s and like figuring out who you are individually and then how that fit
Together.
within a relationship? Yeah.
You want to go first or you want me to go first?
You can go.
I think a lot of people who know me, and Teresa could probably speak on this, I've been the same person my whole life. I don't think
Okay.
I've necessarily been anyone different. So me as an individual has always been, the same character, same behaviors. So even, if I'm looking at dating or anything like that, my intentions have always been intentional, I guess I could say. Whereas a lot of people who are young, you meet a lot of different people. You meet a lot of women. On the other end, you meet a lot of guys. So you kind of get, I guess, clouded in your judgment and where you want to be at the time. For me, it's easy to, once again, be who I am. So me being with Latisha was a no-brainer. And, I meet all these other people, but I have no intentions of anything beyond friendship with them because I am so in my own way of just focusing on my relationship and being intentional in what I want for my future to look like, right? So for myself, I would say that it's, as an individual, it was never an issue for me to, know what I wanted.
So like you knew from like the beginning, basically. Yeah.
And like I never really dated around. I wasn't one of those people who was like, oh, I'm just dating this person just to date them. It was like, if I was going to date someone, it's going to be to see how far it goes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For a purpose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I think that's kind of how like the similarity that we come from, right? Because it was the same thing with me. Like I didn't start. Well, Sheldon's technically my first and only like boyfriend in that aspect, which then he became my husband. So it's just more of like I always found the purpose of dating to be intentional, and I didn't want to just like date to date or just have fun or just do all those things because I don't know, I just never found it to be like something I wanted to do, even though you're around people that just like it's a societal norm to be like, oh, date this guy, date that guy, date this person, date this person, whatever comes from it, like can just happen, can never happen, break up, be together, don't be together. Like that was like never really what my vibe was. So even when I did start dating, it was like later to begin with, like when people are dating like 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, like for me it wasn't really till like 17 or 18, which is like towards the end of high school, right? But yeah, like it was the same mentality for me. It's just, I don't know, maybe it's because I come from a single parent or not, but it was just like being really intentional with my relationships and like what that relationship means and how I want to take it moving forward.
Right.
Like I always wanted to date for long term. I always wanted to date for marriage. I always wanted to do that, even though we were like 18 when we first met. It was just like a mentality that I always had,
Mhm.
you know?
So do you
Fair.
guys feel like you missed out at all in your 20s? Because they say like you should have fun in your 20s, like even aside from dating, like going out, like, like you said, meeting people and those types of things. So, and when you're in a relationship, there are certain things that, you're not going to do
Mhm.
versus if you're
Yeah.
single. So is there anything you guys feel like you missed out on?
Oh, no.
Yeah,
No, I was
no.
outside still. But outside in the like,
Like having fun.
outside having fun with my friends. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not
fair.
outside in the streets. Like, no.
No, that's
I'm
so fair.
too like, and this is I guess it kind of can tie into like our individuality. Like, Sheldon, I'm such an outgoing, high energy person,
Mhm.
and like you knew that from the beginning. So it was just there was never an aspect where it's like, oh no, now that we're in a relationship, like you can't go out, you can't do this.
Right.
We never even we never even had a conversation like that because it just was never something
No.
that like you ever had a problem or that I felt that I had to restrain myself against. Like
Mhm.
I still went out with my friends. I still went to the club. I still went out to dinners. We still turned up. We still went to Caravana. We still did all of these things that people would do when they were that would mainly do when they're single. I still got to do it in a relationship, and that's because our relationship is like very sturdy. What's the word? Like, I guess,
You guys have a good foundation?
yeah, a good foundation. Like,
Mhm.
Sheldon would never be like, oh, no, you can't go and do these things. Or like, why are you out doing this? Or you're going to play Caravana. That's like,
Yeah.
I feel like you were very secure in our relationship and secure in me and the trust that we had and what we have in our relationship to know, like, when I'm going out and I'm having fun with my friends and I'm outside, I'm literally, it's the purpose of enjoying myself with my friends.
Yeah. And I
Mhm.
think if I were someone who was very concerned on those things, I think part of me would feel at peace knowing that her friends are the friends that I've had for a long time
Right,
too.
because you got
But no, like I just didn't. That's not something I worry about. I also do like my alone time, so sometimes.
okay,
She's
fair.
outside, you're chilling, eh?
Sometimes,
No,
yeah,
yes, because she's
she's
happy
like-
about it.
She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go out with my friend." Yeah, 100%. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I
He
can
wants
watch.
to be at home playing his video
Yeah,
games, watching
I
basketball.
can play my game. I can chill with my guys. We can go play basketball. I can watch basketball. So.
But
It was-
it's good. Like I think I would never want to be with a man that's gonna get up and say, "Yeah, I'm going to the club." Like, are you crazy?
I know, I kind of
I
like
know,
that too.
facts.
double standard. Double standard.
No,
No,
it's
babe.
not the same.
It's not the same. You guys
same.
aren't going to the club to shake ass with your friends. Like you guys. what do you-
Sometimes you just want to drink. Have a good time.
no,
Like,
No.
what,
you're a
do,
liar.
what do men do at the club
They
if they're
get-
not with their girlfriend?
Because have you
or
ever
their
seen a
wives?
booth with just men?
No.
They're gonna bring
No,
this
there's
booth.
always ladies
But
in
you
the
can
booth.
see-
Hold on. Okay. First
Literally, no.
off, not the single guy is gonna try and rope the things.
But he's bringing them in your vicinity.
But hold on.
Exactly.
and
But
you're
then-
gonna have to talk to them.
Exactly.
Yeah. Or talk
Especially
to a
with
friend.
And if you're
yes,
But
and
you
if your
can-
man's the cute one,
yes, like
The one with sense.
yeah,
exactly.
But you can
No.
be friendly. You can be friendly.
Oh, my man
Oh,
cannot.
Sheldon, we already talked about the.
Because my thing
We
is
already
this.
talked about the friendly aspect of it.
Yes.
We already talked
Baby, if you're
about this.
listening, you cannot. You
Yeah.
cannot be friendly.
So
You
my thing is,
cannot.
it's not
Look,
like you
sorry,
have to
pause.
be.
When Sheldon says friendly, first of all, if anybody's ever met Sheldon without personally knowing him, Sheldon's not friendly. He's a liar.
If I
This
meet
man
someone-
would sit
polite.
there-
Thank you,
polite.
thank
Yeah,
you.
polite
There we
is a
go.
better
Like,
word.
I don't think if somebody said hey, he would ignore them. But
course
I don't
not.
think.
I think he would look at you and be like, why are you saying
No,
hey to me?
no.
No,
I would say, listen.
Yes, you
let-
have.
Let me
You
speak.
totally
Let me speak.
have.
Say we go to the club, right? Me and the guys go to the club.
I can't imagine you doing that.
Right?
But go on.
One of the guys, he wants to bring some things. All right, so I have to be, open in a sense where I can't scare them off, right? So I got to be, hey, how's it going? Blah blah blah.
think you
Yeah, it's
can
nice to
scare
meet
them
you.
off.
Whatever, just that.
But you know
level.
what's annoying though? Especially now that you're married and you have a ring, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, that's gonna interest.
Yes.
Depending on
It
what type of
is.
yes.
No, you're
Yeah, 'cause
and you're
us-
not
there's
wrong.
a group
we're
of women that
but
are-
there's a
that love a
specific
man
type of
that-
woman.
Yep.
It's gonna like be a conversation. Oh, you're married. Oh,
Yeah.
da, da,
this
da.
is-
Like yes.
But they're gonna try and act like they're just interested in your
In the
relationship,
marriage.
but they
Oh.
actually want to get closer to the man.
Yeah.
Yes, you're not wrong. There's some women who strive
it's
off
crazy,
of being a
yeah.
homewrecker, right? Some women strive for
Yes.
that. They look. That's what they
Yes.
wanna. They want to be able to brag to their friends
It is
and
a
say,
sickness.
It
Like,
is.
Like I took somebody's man.
yes,
Like
yeah.
whatever.
There's some people that like to, they want to brag to their friends and say, yeah, I can get any man I want. You know what I mean? Whether he's married, girlfriend, whatever. If I want him, I'm gonna have him. And a lot of those girls, when the guy doesn't give them attention, get upset. So now either they might try harder or they're like, F him
So
anyways.
how do you deal with that? Because you don't give them attention.
Me personally, I don't give attention. And two, I like, some other guys are very oblivious to these things. Sometimes I don't even notice that a girl's trying to hit on me until like 2-3 days later. I'm like,
or when you
shoot.
talk to your girl about
I'm like,
it.
yeah,
And
you
you're
don't
like,
have to
and I'm
today.
like, what?
sorry. Like run that back.
But
Let's take a couple steps back because
there's a good chunk of guys who just, we don't recognize it just because, we just exist. We want to be,
That's so bless
a
your
good
heart.
person. We're just friendly. And then, like I said, you go home or it's a day later and you're sitting down and you're like, did that person really say that to me? And I just, thought it was just something friendly. So it depends.
Bless
But
your
that's what I say. That's why guys can go to the club and have a good time. And you do.
You guys are not doing that.
No,
Yes,
Sheldon. It's the purpose to which you're going to.
You
the
don't
club.
go to the club like that, fam.
Yeah,
So you don't
yeah,
know.
like-
I don't,
But
but
there's
I
no-
have
there's
gone on many
no-
occasions where I have to, I have
But
to be
when
there.
have
and
you
just-
been? I feel you go to the club with the man them.
I've
No.
I
had
feel like
to
if you go to the
I've had
club
to
it's
go.
with you
Yeah.
told you
Yes,
to
I've
come.
gone with you guys, but I've had to go with guys.
But you're not going to those kinds of clubs. Like,
Listen.
you guys go to apartment 200. Like,
Yeah,
you
so
don't.
sometimes you go there, different places, depending on where your boys want to go.
I'm so
And
sorry,
there's-
but you and your mendem were not hitting up Luxies. Like,
No,
that
no,
was
no, no.
not what
Not
you guys
there.
were
But
doing.
what I'm saying is, you go in different places,
He
right?
said no, heavens no.
No. But you go to different places with your guys, and like I said, sometimes your guys want to talk to girls.
But it's
and so
more
you have to be.
loungy, like
that doesn't matter. My point is,
Let me give you a scenario. Hold
Go,
on.
go.
So let's say you
Not
go
a scenario,
somewhere.
child.
Let's say you go somewhere with your friends, whether it's a club or whatever, right? And there's a group of girls. There's 4 of you guys. There's 4 of them, right? And 2 of you guys are single, let's say. And your friend, he's really feeling the girl, and the girl has like an Airbnb or something, and they say, okay, everybody come back to the Airbnb. You as a married man, what are you doing in that situation?
there's 2 things you can do. Either you say, "Nah, guys, I'm going home. End of the night here. My girl's at home waiting for me. Why am I going here?"
That's the right thing to do.
The only other situation is if, say, you're like Dee or something, and now you have to say, "Oh shit, I gotta go back to the Airbnb with you guys just to make sure everybody's straight." Now, if you're good in your relationship, you don't have time for the game. So if a girl's trying to sit up next to you, you're like, "Yo, ease up. Like, this is my girl." Blah blah blah. blah. You know what I mean?
I'm actually sick to my stomach
but you
thinking
know
about
what?
this.
I
Like,
feel like
imagine.
for girls, but you know what? For
Yeah.
girls, it's different because I feel like if it was
If it was reversed, we would have to
for
go
safety.
for safety aspects. Yeah.
Yes.
Like, we would have
That's
to
fair.
be there to make sure all of our friends
But
are
at the
fine.
same time, I have been in a situation before where I feel like the guy was really like trying. Like, I don't know if he had a girlfriend,
Yeah.
but the girl was trying to talk to him, and I feel like he really was trying. Like, honestly, he did something with the girl, but if I ever were to meet his girlfriend, I'd be like, honestly, sis, he tried.
Yeah.
Like, the girl was
Persistent.
Oh,
She's
the
persistent.
girl
She
was
was
I see what you're saying.
She
I
was
see what you're
trying
saying.
her best.
Yeah.
Like, and he fell for it, but
Oh my
he
God.
really
No, he
tried.
fell
You
for
must
it.
resist temptation.
But yes,
But
and
don't
that's-
put yourself in tempting
In those situations.
No,
Exactly.
and you shouldn't. And but at the same time, if you are once again good in your relationship and you really want your relationship to be like your future, you can put your foot down. Guys have a lot of power to be like, no, I'm not doing that. And a
That's
girl,
true.
there is girls that will still push, but
Yeah.
most girls, if they get like a
crazy.
stern no,
Yeah.
they're embarrassed now. They're gonna
Yeah.
say, oh, you're, they
As
might
you
try and
should
say
be.
you're
'Cause,
you're
like,
on the other side.
really?
You don't like women.
I can't.
You see me, I'm a baddie. You don't want me. And then the guy's just like, what the hell? Like I already told you I have things going on.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's not one
My
of those.
baddie's at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the other side of it, right?
Okay, so Deja was asking about how you guys grew together, and you guys have been together for 12 years now, right?
Yes.
So was there ever
Wow,
a point where you
damn.
guys felt like you were growing apart and you were outgrowing each other, and you had to decide to be like, okay, no, we want to continue to grow together?
Yeah, I'd say there. Yes, yeah. There definitely was a point. I'd probably say is like maybe 2 years ago. Does that timing line up? Well, it was more me than him. Like, it was just outgrow. Like, it was more of like I obviously, again, like, when I go into a relationship, the goal was always marriage, kids, and that aspect of our life. And at that point, we were together for like 10 years. And it's kind of more of like, okay, well, when are we doing this transition? When is that going to happen? Like we've done, well, especially like for me, I've done so many like fundamental things of like going to school, becoming an RN, RPN to RN, and then doing school doing some travel nursing and setting up appropriately for that part of our future. So it was kind of like, well, when are we gonna do this? Like it was like getting a bit stagnant. And these were conversations that we did have, that we wanted to take these next steps, but the steps weren't being taken. So it was more of like, what's going on here? Like, is that like not what you want anymore? Or you just like need more time, or whatever, like the reasonings were. It was kind of a like, I can't keep waiting for wanting what my future wants as much as like I want that future with you. If you don't kind of take the steps that I want to take and that we were trying to take together, if you're not where I'm at, then I need to think about like stepping away. And it was a big thing where we really did. I don't know if we weren't I wouldn't say not seeing eye to eye, but it was kind of like, well,
you have to decide to be on the same page.
Yeah. And it was like we were on the same page, and we always were. And then obviously, like, with long-term relationships, there's issues that do arise, and you can become very comfortable. And in situations where like it becomes like you guys are like roommates. And I don't want to say it in that aspect, but again, it's in the comfortability level of it, of when you've been together for so long, sometimes you get comfortable.
Yeah, no, I get
so
you have to actively decide.
Yeah. So it's just like, well, like this is what we were supposed to get engaged. We're supposed to get married. We're supposed to be doing all these things, and I'm sticking with the plan. But now the plan seems to be changing on your aspect. So like, what's going on? Like, are we going to make that change? Are we going to get there? What's going to happen with that? And it was getting to a point where it's like, hey, am I outgrowing this? And like, if so, do I want to stay in this relationship, or do I not want to stay in this relationship? And like, what does my life look like not staying in this relationship when I've spent a decade of it
with you? And very like important years, formative years too.
Yeah. And so I guess like a bit of it was kind of like, how much do I want to stay in this relationship? How much am I willing to make it work? And obviously, like we did, like it obviously is something that was very important, because we're here now married. So it was definitely a hill that we were able to get over together. But yeah, like these were questions that definitely did come to my mind, and like, who am I outside of this relationship? Like, who am I with just being Latisha, and it's not Latisha and Sheldon? Because a lot of the time, like, it's always Latisha and Sheldon,
right?
Especially with the aspect of like, a lot of my friends know him and knew him before they knew me. So it was like, is that dynamic going to change? What does that look like? Like, it was kind of very much like, what will my life look like if I decided to go left instead of going right? But obviously, that's not what I ever wanted, was to go left. I always wanted to go right and always be with you and always stick with our relationship. So it was never a question of like, I'm gonna step away fully. It was more of like, how can we work on this relationship so we can continue down the path we want to? And if that doesn't work, then what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. It's a very interesting time, I'd say, because there's a lot of things that happen that affect, where you want to go and what decisions you want to make. But overall, it's just a matter of, once again, being intentional and putting the right things in position so that you can get to where you want to be. And relationships have ups and downs, personally, I believe if your relationship is perfect and you don't have any ups and downs, or no arguments,
something is wrong.
Yes, you guys, someone doesn't care enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you're gonna have arguments because you care enough that this is an issue, right? So I think there's things like that just happen that kind of make you try to, I guess, figure out and analyze where the relationship is and like, what are we gonna do to get to a certain point? So sometimes things can get a little stagnant especially when you're like she said, comfortable, and especially like living together, where you kind of get into a routine of, it's like you work, I work, we see each other, let's hang out for 2 hours before you go to bed. Becomes stagnant.
Yeah.
But it's all about just being intentional and wanting to, get past that point and, really looking at your relationship and understanding, is this what I want, or am I just going with emotions? Do I just stay here because I've been here for this long, or do I actually say, you know what, if we're going to make the long run, let's implement these steps or whatever we need to do to get to that place. So
honestly, from the outside looking in, I feel like you guys have always been like intentional about each other. Like, okay, let's go out, like let's go on dates, like let's have new adventures together. You know what I mean? And those things are important because, like you said, if I'm seeing you every day and it's like I'm seeing you by default, I'm seeing you because I'm coming home, and not like, okay, let me get dressed, let me look nice for you, like both sides, like let me take you out, kind of thing. From the outside looking in, I feel like you guys have, you guys have been together. You guys always have been on that. So it's nice to see.
And I really like how you guys, like in both of your answers, you guys both talked about how you first asked yourself if this is like what you wanted, because it shows like you're an individual first, and then like you're putting yourselves together to make that decision moving forward, And I think that's like so important. And I think that's a big thing that relationships that start from teenage years to their whatever, they don't have like that individuality.
I think it kind of blends because you base your individuality on your partner and on your relationship, because if you were like, we started dating at 18, but if you start dating at 15 or 16, you've had
even more
that, that's been who you are, right?
Exactly,
Your character is based on that relationship that you had for so long. So I can see where, if you do separate, now you're kind of lost trying to figure out, who am I?
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And I think that's an important part of, once again, going back to the 20s question of trying to figure out where you want to be with relationships, is most people at 20 are trying to figure out who they are. And so sometimes you date around thinking, okay, I just got to find the person who's right for me. Rather than, maybe you had that relationship before and nurturing it would have led you to that point. But because you think, hey, I'm 20, 21, I'm young, I should go date X, Y, and Z person. Now you're trying to, I guess, solve who you are and who your identity is.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, I think that's the only thing that like worked very well for us, is because we knew who we are at such a young age, and just like the fundamentals of who I am as a person has always been consistent. And the same thing with you. The fundamentals of who you are as a person has always been consistent. So I think that root then allowed us to like continue to grow together, because again, what he's saying, like if you don't know who you are, what you want to do, those aspects of your life, like maybe I want who I was when I was 20 is who I wanted to be with that person. But then as you grow, like sometimes you do grow up and grow out of relationships, because that's not who the person that you are anymore, right? And like a good thing with us is like, I feel like we always had the base of who we are and what we are individually and who we are together, and then each of those steps of individuality and also in our relationship continue to be
they coincide and just go
Like it was like going in parallel.
That's honestly, I never thought about that way, but that's actually a fact, because both of them have been the same. And it's funny because the other day we were looking at a yearbook from high school, and like I think they were asking us like, what do you want to be in the future? And Latisha's was like, she wants to be a nurse. And it's just so funny because she really is a nurse. And like Sheldon has always been chill, like he's always been that guy, like whatever role he played in their friend group before is still the same role that he plays now. Like he's, you know what I mean? He's exactly how, if you knew him when he was little, this is exactly how you would picture him to be as an adult, right? So both of you guys are definitely like that. You were gonna say something?
Yeah. So I'm trying to remember. Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
Okay, because you guys were talking about like dating around in your 20s, right? And this is like kind of like, I guess I'm gonna ask you.
Okay.
So, because I feel like we both kind of dated a bunch in our. We had experiences, but I think those experiences came out of very traumatic experiences where our vision of like who we thought we wanted was like tarnished. And we're trying to figure out now, like, okay, now we thought that we wanted this, but now we don't know. You know what I mean? So we're trying to figure out what we do want, because what we thought we wanted was very negatively impacting us, you know?
Yeah. So listening to you speak, Latisha, about like, you know, you always knew you never wanted to like date like a lot of people or like talk to a lot of people or whatever. And this is the intention that you had. I think a lot of women do have that intention. And I think you were fortunate enough to meet somebody that was a good person.
Yeah, I think I
and
was
that
lucky.
was intentional.
Yeah.
And I think that probably saved you as a woman, as a Black woman, from a lot of trauma.
I agree.
And a lot of us did not have that luxury, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like, but I will say that, like you're saying, I learned a lot about what I want and what I don't want. You know what I mean? And I think that when it comes to even small things, like I've talked about before, like, okay, wanting somebody to open the car door for you or somebody to buy you flowers. It's like sometimes you meet somebody and you're dating them and they do those small things and you realize you like it, but maybe their character is not what you want it to be, right?
Yeah.
So I guess what you're getting at is like me being in a relationship now, like how did that help me learn that I...
Yeah, like I think like it was more clear to you the types of things or characteristics that you wanted in a person based off of the experiences that I had.
For sure, yeah.
You know?
And I think like when I decided, I was like maybe like maybe 3 years ago, I was like, okay, this is ghetto. I can't I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. I'm not talking to anybody. I'm not doing, like, I just need to be by myself. And what do I like and what do I want? And I think that like when I started dating my man now, I was like, okay, literally, like when we first started dating, I had a note of like after every interaction with him, I would write in the note like how it made me feel. Like the first date, I was like, okay, this is what I think about him. And then I would update it like, okay, you know, because me and him are both very confident, right? And like, if you know me, like, I'd be like, oh, I'm so pretty. I'm such a bad bitch. Oh, da, da, da. And like, I think sometimes if you don't know me, you'll think I'm arrogant, right? But like, people who know me know I'm coming from far. Like, how I used to think about myself is very different.
It's very
now,
different.
like, I'm not gonna like, yes, I have my days where I'm not feeling myself, but like 95% of the time, I think I'm that bitch. Like, I think I'm beautiful. I think I'm gorgeous. I think I dress nice. I think everything about myself positive. I'm very intelligent. All those things. Great personality. Yeah. But like,
listen.
But like I said, if you don't know me, you're gonna think like, "Sorry, this girl." But I'm coming from far. So when I met him too, like he was talking, I'm like, "Who's this guy feeling like? Like, who are you? Like, who are you?" Right? But then I'm like, you know what? Let me see, because I think this is how I sound to people, right? So I would write all these things down, and then as I got to know him more, I'm like, okay, you're coming from, like, you know what I mean? You're actually a good person, right? So yeah, I think I was very intentional. I think sometimes like, when you're going out with someone and you're going places, or if you do something physical, you think you like the person, but you don't.
You don't. Yeah.
Right? So that's why
lust.
My past experiences taught me like, focus on the person and their character and what they're doing, not just what they're seeing.
Yes.
You know?
I agree.
Very true.
Because a lot of people just tell you what you want to hear.
Exactly.
Especially like
men.
Guys.
Your gender?
When guys know what they want, they'll say what they gotta say. You know what I mean?
Which is
and
crazy.
there's some guys that I know will say certain lines, and I'm like, yo, that's crazy that you're saying that to a girl. Like now we're really playing with her emotions, right? Whereas like there's other lines they say, and I'm like, all right, you're a guy, like, you know.
But you know what? And one thing that I wanted to say when you guys were talking about like growing apart and things like that, like obviously I understand Latisha's perspective because I'm a woman and like we're like best friends, right? But at the same time, I think that now being in a relationship, I understand Sheldon's perspective more because I think when you like, love gives you the motivation to try to understand people, right? So like, yes, this is against my aesthetic, but when you love when you love a man, when you
this adds to your aesthetic.
Okay, period.
There you
when
go.
you love a man, you're gonna be
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's gonna motivate you to try to understand his perspective because he's,
as you should, yes.
Everything that he thinks is coming from his perspective of being a man, being a Black man, right?
Yeah.
So like when we're talking about taking the next step, getting married, like for us, it's like, okay, I want my ring. Okay, we're gonna plan this wedding. We're gonna start popping out babies. For him, it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
I have a whole responsibility that I'm taking on. I have to go and tell this girl's parents that I'm going to take the same care, if not better care of her than you've been taking care of her for these past however many years.
Yeah.
Right? So like, if he feels like, let's say your ring is like 5 racks. He can't just save 5 racks. He has to save like 10 because he has to do your engagement, and he can't have $0 going into engagement. He now has to pay for a wedding. He has to make sure he has a down payment for a house. Yes, we're going to contribute too, but he's going to pay more realistically. So he's thinking of all those things, right?
I had this conversation with him, and literally the same stuff we were talking about it, because really and truly, when I was talking to him about it, I kind of wanted to get his perspective.
When did you guys talk about this?
Anyways, I wanted to get his perspective.
I want to know too, because
beyond just
you didn't tell me this.
Beyond just getting his perspective,
Between them still,
right? But what happened to pillow talking?
we're both black men, right?
Yes.
But he comes from a different cultural background than I do. For us, just being a Caribbean black man, we don't necessarily have to do the same steps that an African black man has to do, right? So it was interesting
he
when
has to bring the money.
Yes, he's got to bring. I think he said it was like a bride price. Yes, all these things. For me, I'm like, whoa, like the most.
Not too much.
Yeah, I'm like, the most that I need to prove is, similar to him, is that I can take care of your daughter, right? You know what I mean? And I'm not doing it the same way you're doing it. Me, it's just like my words, my intentions. You see it. For him, he actually has to come and
put his money where his mouth is.
Yes, he has to prove those things. He has to be able to say, look, I have dollars. I can give this to you. You know what I mean? And so I was getting him to explain it to me, and I was like, this is extremely interesting, because as much as, once again, we're both black men, we both have a different outlook on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think both things are rooted in the same thing, but manifest differently based on culture, right?
Yes. It's very interesting, and I respect it, because it's it was an eye-opener to me, because once again, I am not thinking of certain actions. I'm thinking, I got to get the ring. I got to make sure I have, able to, get us a house, to do all these things. Yes. But I'm not thinking I got to be able to get the ring, show that I have this money, also have a bride price. Then, then I got to do X, Y, Z. Then I got to have maybe.
He can. We believe in you, David. You got it.
Excuse me, why you saying my man's government name?
I'm sorry. It's okay. Sorry, I didn't know.
It's very interesting, because it's like,
I'm screaming. I mean, sure, just show support.
It's
sorry.
okay. It's fine.
Leave that out. Leave that out.
Cat's out the bag.
you know her, so you shouldn't even be surprised that she does these things.
Right? It's true.
She'd be doing these things sometimes, and I'm just like, I told you something. You're not supposed to go and say this, and that.
No, I already know it. Honestly, like, I know you're a girl's girl, but I already know if I'm telling Latisha something, I'm telling Sheldon. It's fine. Sheldon can know my business too.
No, but
No, be
if you say don't tell Sheldon, I'm not telling.
But I would never say don't tell Sheldon. I think if it was something that you really couldn't tell Sheldon, I wouldn't have to say that.
Yeah.
So, but like my little stuff, like
no. But what's annoying is somebody just doesn't know how to just keep it pillow talk.
I do.
And then you come bring it back to the original person. So why are you talking?
Because me and Sheldon have a friendship. He can tell me.
I'll make a little 1-2 joke about it.
Yeah.
I heard this.
But then you know who gets in trouble for it? Me.
But is it real trouble?
You're not in trouble. It's just throwing shade.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's not like I'm out here, going to Teresa and saying, "Oh, that was horrible." Blah blah blah. I'm coming to her like, "Yo, I heard a 1-2." You know what I mean? And then I'm laughing about it.
That's literally how it goes.
Yeah.
So it's not going nowhere. It's not becoming no issue or anything like that.
Yeah. But never that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting though that you guys had that talk. That's good. He should keep talking.
He's a good man still. I respect him. That's my guy.
Thank you. Aww. Okay. This is a good one. So I know it's very early. It's been like not even a month, right?
It'll be a month on Saturday.
Oh,
so
happy 1 month.
On Saturday?
Yes, it'll be a month.
I guess, if you're going by days.
Yeah, because it'll be.
Yeah. I'm thinking
Aren't
like
you going by the 14th?
That's what I was thinking.
I'm going by like, because the Saturday is
that's not how it goes.
Yeah,
no, it is. It would be. Oh no! Well, that's 28 days, 4 weeks. Yeah, location
doesn't necessarily. It's about the date.
That's true. Yeah. Okay, so it's what is it? Then
Tuesday or something.
The 8th now, and then we got married on the 14th. So yeah, we're like just shy from a month.
Okay, so have you guys noticed any differences
Can I keep it a buck?
Honestly.
Realistically,
Yeah.
no.
No.
It's been the same. But I'll say this.
There's a reason why we say that.
Realistically, if you're going to get married, your relationship should already be where it needs to be.
Okay.
If I don't think, and obviously everybody's different, but I don't think getting married should necessarily change your relationship dynamic. I think if you're planning on getting married and making those steps, your relationship should already be in the place it needs to be, so that when you get married, we already have that foundation. We're already solidified in what we have here, and now it's just like, we're married now, so we do a couple things maybe a little different now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, change the last name, introductions are different.
Yeah.
Maybe we, now get the joint account and do those things. But your relationship between you and your partner should have already been there when you made those steps to get there.
That's
So
true.
it should not be a matter of now I'm married and now I have to I don't know. Now I need to be kind to my wife. Like,
That's
you
crazy.
should have been there. Like, you know what I mean?
That's crazy.
But I think like, go ahead.
But what I was going to say is like, because we've been together for so long, like when we got married, that was our 12-year anniversary. So it's just like, we've been together for 12 years. We've been living together for 6. Well, it'll be coming up because we moved in together in 2020.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
so it's the end of 2020.
the end of 2020. So it's just like all those things we've kind of already had set in
if you ask me, I would have
place.
said like 3. Shit.
I know, right? It's
feels
crazy
like
when you
it.
think
It
about
feels
it.
like it.
So it's just like we've already lived together. We've been together for so long. So some aspects of our relationship, yes, like it's obviously not going to change. And it was funny. Someone asked us that, and we were just thinking about it. We're like, we looked at each other and just started laughing because we're like, nah. Like,
I think the biggest thing for us was when my mom asked, and we're just like, we feel like we're kids saying,
oh, this is
playing.
my husband, this is my wife.
Literally.
I don't feel like I'm old enough. Like I don't feel like I'm allowed to say that and be serious about it. You know,
No,
right.
like my husband.
I was like, oh, like this is emotional, but I'm like, what the fuck? We're kids. Like, why are we?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like,
feel
why
like
are we
a
playing
kid.
dress up?
Like, exactly. I feel like
honestly,
I'm cosplaying because like, what is this?
I won't lie to you. At one point, I'm in the wedding, and I'm like, yeah, am I really married? Like,
Yeah.
what is this?
Seriously.
Because you see your parents married, right?
Yeah.
And your
Yeah.
parents are always so many years older than you for the most part. So it's just like to picture yourself as your parents. It feels weird because it's just
It
like.
is.
But do you know which I will say, like, there were so many emotional and lovely parts of the wedding. But first of all, the wedding was lit. I have to say,
It was a good
the
time.
details. It was a movie from start to finish. But
Planned it all.
Really? I know. I heard Rhonda told me that you
start to
planned
finish the job.
everything.
Just me, man.
Yeah.
Just me, myself, and I.
damn.
but
Yeah.
You seem like a planner though. Like you're type A,
I am.
right?
I think even if I had a wedding
very
planner, I'd
type A,
probably
yeah.
tell that wedding
Put
planner.
Yeah, what to
to
do?
plan.
Yeah, let me do this. I got this. Don't worry.
the part for
Literally.
me that it's like the part for me that touched me the most was Jan's speech because
That's what a lot of people said. Yeah.
I've seen you guys since literally you guys met. So like
Yeah.
I've seen your guys' friendship, the way how you guys have been best friends from that time till now.
Yeah, that's really
And like that's when I was like, fuck, like we're not kids. Like Jan is literally here doing a best man speech.
Yeah.
And like this is not a joke. You know what I mean?
Sheldon and Jan have known each other since
Grade 4.
Grade 4.
Yeah. Like imagine that. Like you're 9 and now you're 30 and you've known that man for 21 years of your life.
Yeah.
Like that.
crazy.
And it's like people have best friends. Like we've seen like people really be best friends and then they fall off.
Yeah.
So like for you, like obviously if you asked me in grade 4 who would be Sheldon's best man, I would say Jan. And then the fact that
It actually
actually
came to
is.
fruition.
it really touched me, and I'm like, okay, like this is
This is real. Yeah.
It's really nice. It's off topic, but it's really nice to know that, first off, with you guys having your 10 friends, that's insane. You don't see that, especially for women, you don't see that a lot. But beyond that, it's just to know that like we have known each other, once again, me and Teresa since grade 3, me and Kayla since kindergarten, me and Gabby, I think since grade 3 or grade 4 too, I think grade 3. So it's just nuts to know that like all these friendship have came so far and lasted so long. It's really impressive. And it really makes you sit back and think like, these are some real genuine people that mean a lot to you.
Yeah.
You know what
And
I
I
mean?
think that's also like a one thing maybe that, well, I'm gonna say, you tell me if I'm lying. One thing that like not helped, but for lack of a better word, helped with your relationship is everybody around you was always rooting for you guys.
Yeah.
And like Latisha knows I'm always on Sheldon's side. Like if she comes see the problem, I'm like, yeah, but fam, like I don't know stuff, So I think it's good
It's so
to have
true.
as a woman to have those type of friends because a lot of women just leave him, just leave him.
leave him,
But
just leave him.
Sheldon's
Yeah.
not. Sheldon is a good man, right?
That's
So I'm not
true.
gonna tell you that. Like
Good
if
man,
something.
Savannah.
All right,
So
buddy.
if something's
Chill out.
happening, like I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I don't don't think, let's think of it from a different way.
Yeah,
You know what I
and
mean?
it's true. And I think it just, especially me as a person, like my friends and my family, I hold so dear to my heart. Like all of my friends are my family. So to have that support throughout the entire steps, like it really does make a difference. And it kind of puts ease on your mind that like, okay, maybe this is a good, like, as much as you shouldn't fully take on, like, agree with everything. Like if your friends say like, oh no, that's a bad man, and you're like, yeah, whatever, like I'm still gonna be with, like it's nice to know that my friends supported my relationship through start to finish and continuing on, and that like I'm able to rely on them through the aspect of like being my friend and also his friend, but still supporting me and being there for me as Latisha, but then also being there for me in Latisha and Sheldon. Yeah, because if all my friends didn't like my man, like bro,
you don't even want to tell that.
Like
When your friends
hard,
don't like it,
man.
it's not fun.
it's
still.
like I just would have been like damn, like maybe I should. And then
can't
I'm
even
stewing
tell
in
them
my
when-
own thoughts of like what am I gonna do,
It's
and then
like
you
you're on your
overthinking.
own.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's
literally.
just like it's lonely out there.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like that for real. So
no facts.
it did
It
make
makes a
it easier,
difference.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
It makes
very
a
very
huge
helpful for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, can I ask a question?
Of course. Go
Because
ahead.
you asked about like if marriage changed your relationship. Teresa, you asked that. I'm asking if how has your like now that you guys are married, has that changed how people now perceive you?
I don't know.
Because like we're usually around the same people.
Yeah,
Like, just our friends, family and whatnot. And it's just like a matter of my family calling her Miss Fraser now. She gets gassed,
Giddy.
which is funny. She gets giddy.
Yeah.
But beyond that, like I don't think, I mean, people we meet now, like even when she met one of my coworkers, and when I was like, oh, this is my wife, they're like, oh, isn't it just weird that you're calling her your wife rather than girlfriend and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Like, but I don't think perception wise, like anyone's, I guess, changed in a sense. Would you say your perception's changed?
I mean,
Teresa?
I'm still gonna be me.
Period.
Through and through. Letitia's gonna be Letitia if she's a girlfriend, a fiance, or a wife, or the mother of his children. But
But like I was saying, Teresa, do you think your perception's changed at all?
No, like we always knew you guys were gonna get married.
yeah, like I feel like this is stuff we always
think
were gonna
that-
do. Like
That's what I said. Like I think everything that you guys said
we wanted to do.
we're doing it. And that's also, again, like I said, Jan's speech was when I was like, whoa, this is it. And then also like just thinking about like, we've talked about this, we've prayed about this, we've laughed about this. And like, we've all said, oh, Latisha and Sheldon's wedding's going to be lit. And Latisha and Sheldon's wedding was lit. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, no, not really. I think maybe if you guys go out into the world,
That's what I'm saying.
like
Meet
instead of
people.
Yeah.
Yes. That's, and I think that's the thing where it's like the perceptions. And even, I guess for people, it's like, it's odd when I say my wife. I was with my cousin the other day and we were doing some exchange of clothes. And the guy at the desk was like, oh, I'm going to put all your receipts together so you don't lose them or whatever. And I'm like, oh, that's good because I want to make sure I can show my wife this clothes because the only way I'm going to return it is if she says something. And my cousin's just like, what the hell? Like, he's like,
who's that, Isaac?
Yeah,
Isaac.
He's like, you saying wife is so weird. He's like, fiance was one thing, girlfriend's regular, but he's like, wife, like, nah, that's not you. And I'm like, yeah, it's interesting because usually if I'm talking to my friends or whatever, I'm like, yeah, Latisha or yeah, my girl, whatever. So now that I'm using the proper term, wife or whatnot, he's just like, I don't know if I'll ever get used to this. You know what I mean? He's like, it's such an odd thing.
It was funny because like when we were at Luther and Jamaica's house, Jamaica was introducing us to one of her cousins, and she's like, "And this is Sheldon's wife." And I said, yeah, because she's so used to the same thing as well, right? Because she's been there for a while too. So I was like, I was sitting there when she was doing the introductions, this is Sheldon, Luther's brother. This is, and I was like, oh, what's she gonna say? What's she gonna say? Is she gonna say the wife or not? So it was nice, like. I guess for new people, that's the difference, right? That perception of like, this is Sheldon's wife, this is Latisha's husband. But again, like because we're in the same dynamic quite regularly, like we have our same friend group. You have your same friend group. Like we're around the same people for so long that it's kind of like, I feel like people are going to always see us as like Latisha and Sheldon, but now we're like husband and wife.
Yeah.
Instead.
Yeah. And I think that's, once again, that's the big thing. It's the new people, because they're kind of like,
But again,
you know, oh, you guys are young and you guys are calling us, even though we're not that young. Like, realistically, these people are getting married before us.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's really interesting.
Mom's still gonna be me,
Yeah. Period.
just with a wife. But you know it's true.
Yes,
You
you'll
can't
be you.
change me.
He
I
loves
am
you
who I
for
am.
you.
He loves me
Exactly.
for
As
me.
much as you drive me up the wall sometimes. It's all good,
But
though.
you're still
It's
here
life.
though.
It's life. Such is life.
And I got the ring.
Yes.
So
Period.
Show the ring. Show the ring.
you see that? So you want me here. You love me for who I
That's what I'm
am.
saying. Such is life.
Exactly. The life you want to be in, babe.
That's period. Okay. Yeah. So, girl, not too
Girl,
much.
not too much.
That's too much.
Yeah.
So if you guys could go back and give your younger selves one piece of advice about love, what would it be?
You know,
You were thinking about this.
yeah, I was thinking about this today, and it's really hard for me because I am the same person, legit the same person.
Mhm.
Like, all I could really tell myself is, like, be true to yourself and just be mindful, communicate your emotions, and communicate problems better. I think that's the information I'll give myself for love. Just because, I mean, I feel like I'm not perfect, of course not, but I feel like I do a decent job in that aspect, and I try my best. So I'll just, continue to tell myself, be you, continue to try your best, communicate better, and just stay true to you. Yeah.
Nice.
What would I tell myself? I think it'd just be more of like, what did I say? What's the word? I'm such a independent person, and like being the eldest daughter and always being the one to like doing, and just taking control. There you go. Taking control of situations. More of just like allowing yourself to let somebody else lead in your relationship and not forcing. I don't want to say force, but like maybe not trusting that other person in that relationship to be the head, to lead you, to be able to show you that you can trust them to do those things. And I do. And it's not that I don't trust you. It's just more of my own.
It's your upbringing. It's
Yes,
where you're
it's what
coming
you're
from.
used to. You're used to
Yeah.
being
I'm so used to being the one to have to deal with everything.
your second parent.
It was
yeah.
your reality for
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
long.
it really was like
Mhm.
Especially like having an age gap with siblings, and then also coming from a single mom. Like there was a lot that my mom like relied on me for that I always like kind of am used to doing. So then now a lot of that was like transferred into our relationship. So it was just not giving him the opportunity to like be able to do the things that a man usually would do. And it's not to say that he can't do them. It's just me letting him do that. So
Right.
like to my younger self, I would just say like, give them that opportunity, take a step back, chill out, stop doing too much, and just let.
Wow, the growth.
let
The growth is astonishing. I love to see it.
let the man lead the way the man should and wants to be for you in the relationship, and trust them to do that.
Let's hear it.
Oh, that's so cute. I love that.
Deja, do you want to answer that question too?
What?
About what
This
you
is not
tell
about me.
No, but we can answer that question
Yeah.
too. We're not married.
was the
but-
question
What we
What would you
should.
tell your younger self
There you go. It's a
About
good
love?
question.
about love, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guidance. What would you give yourself,
So much, right?
So much. I would say trust your gut
Mm-hmm.
and rely on your community more.
Yeah. That's a
Mm.
good
You
one.
know? Rely on your community to help you see certain things. Like, don't try and, I guess it kind of relates to what your point of like trying to do everything on your own, but instead
Yeah.
of like more doing like, like working or these things on your own, it was more for me like my emotions and like controlling like my behavior on my own, or like figuring out like, okay, how do I navigate this relationship alone? So I feel like if I relied more on community,
Yeah.
I would have been in a better place when I was younger.
That's a good answer.
That makes
Yeah.
no, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
That's a good answer.
My turn.
Yes.
I think I really like that retweet.
Yeah.
I
that's a good one.
think I would tell myself to, like I was saying earlier, like this time around I was very intentional. Like I monitored my feelings more. I feel like in the past, like I've just gone off of like how I feel in that moment without actually sitting down with myself and reflecting and talking to myself about like how do I feel? And a big thing is like how do I feel in this person's presence? Because I think like I'm naturally like kind of anxious. So when I'm around people who are not good for me, like men aside, like even like family, whoever, my spirit is not settled, right?
Yeah.
And I think like in my past experiences, my spirit was never settled until now. And I see that difference. So I think like same thing, like trusting your gut, but like trusting myself and having discernment to know like just because this person is doing this or saying this, or it looks good or it sounds good, it doesn't mean this is for you. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. So discernment, basically.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Love that.
It's really
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of you, Teresa.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I feel like you've come so far when it comes to
Yeah.
love and just like not being so guarded.
Yes.
I feel like I've definitely
Not too much,
seen
not
a
too
change.
You know,
I've definitely seen like a change in you as a person.
I
Aw,
can,
thank
you.
I agree with that. I've
Yeah.
not that I've seen or seen certain sides of you, but just from hearing you speak. But at one point, you were very anti-man.
Yeah.
You were very. I'd
But
sit
it was
there.
warranted. It was
Teresa was El
warranted.
Capitan.
Hold on. I'd be sitting there some days like, holy, what's going on?
No, seriously.
I'm like, I'm a good man and I feel bad. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I did something wrong. Like
I'm screaming.
I'm not doing
Oh,
anything
my.
crazy, but I feel like,
Yeah.
just being around.
Yeah.
But, like I said, you came a long way. But yeah, sometimes you would say
Aw,
some
thank
stuff
you,
and I was
guys.
just like, my Lord, Teresa,
Yeah.
what is going
Seriously,
on?
like,
You
damn.
said some things.
What happened to you,
even
girl?
some of the jokes you'd make with Trevor sometimes, I'm like, like crazy. This is
I'm
crazy.
screaming. I'm
But
screaming.
no, it's actually really good to see. Like, you're in good spirits. You can tell that this relationship is very good for you, and that like you're happy.
Yeah.
You can see.
Chill.
You
No,
feel-
no, but for real,
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it
You
a
feel
buck.
like-
Okay, I'm getting shy.
She's
Thank
happy.
you, guys.
The
I
energy's
appreciate
different.
it.
Like,
Yeah.
gotta keep it a buck.
Can I say one thing?
Sure.
This is not to do with your relationship. Don't worry. I'm
Okay,
taking the
okay.
heat off of it.
Okay, thank
I
you.
was just gonna say, I think what a lot of people don't know, like realize that they should do is like go to therapy. And I think, especially for us, especially in that little time, therapy definitely did help our relationship.
Yeah, agreed.
And even if your relationship is great, there's still good things for you to get out of therapy. So
Yes.
especially with like Black relationships, Black women, Black men, there's a lot of anti-therapy. No, what's the point? But
Yep.
like
I
at
love
least
that.
for us, and especially like in long-term relationships and long-lasting relationships, it was very beneficial and very helpful. So I want to promote the good that it can do instead of the stigma that's connected to it especially like within our community.
Yeah.
That's
I
very
think
That's a
big.
good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's true because even, being a man in general, Black man, white man, Asian man, whatever you are, I think a lot of men in general look at therapy as, oh, I'm going somewhere where the woman's going to side with the other women and I'm just going to sit there and I'm going to get blamed for such and such. But it's not true. You go to therapy and you realize that even the points that you make will also get respected. You know what I mean? You don't have to sit there and think, hey, I'm a guy and now I'm just going to get berated and, bombarded with a bunch of things that I do wrong. No. If you have a good therapist and the right therapist, they will listen to both sides and they'll tell you where you're right and where you're wrong from both of you. So it's actually really,
Yeah, that's crazy.
it's really, really effective in
And
the growing your relationship.
And it helps
Yeah.
with our communication too, right?
Yeah.
Because like especially with long-lasting and long-term relationships, communication is such a big thing, and communication is so important for the maintenance of the relationship, and like being able to appropriately communicate and have good conflict resolution and conflict management. Because obviously everyone is going to fight, and there will always be issues like that. So it just really helped us be able to navigate those things appropriately. Because I find like with long-term relationships, it gets to a point where all you're doing is fighting. All you're doing is fighting. All you're doing is arguing.
Bickering,
and then
yeah.
bickering, and then it just gets to the point where you're butting heads. And then at one point you're just done. You're just done with fighting, you're done with arguing, and you walk away. But if you're able to like really want to be there and understand that why you guys are fighting, where that fighting is coming from, and be able to communicate appropriately in disagreements and in arguments, some of those things get resolved same time, same minute, same day. And then you're moving on to the next, being able to be in a nice, healthy relationship. So, and I feel like that's sometimes what the downfall is for long-term relationships too. So go to therapy.
Yeah, period.
It's helpful.
Yes.
Regardless.
Love to hear it.
Love that.
Especially for couples and individuals.
Yes. And black people, because you know black people
Yeah,
in
black
therapy.
people,
I'm gonna
yes.
see the lady.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see the
Go see the
lady.
lady.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see the lady.
And that lady did help us, for
I'm
sure.
That's
He
good.
was really
Shout out
good.
the lady, bro.
Shout
Shout out the lady.
Okay,
Because
on
I
that
said,
note,
damn, why you really coming for me like that? We're supposed to talk about him.
you thought it was
That's how
going to
it
be you
works.
guys two against one.
Yeah,
didn't
for
you?
sure, 100%. But then
Horrible.
she's like, "Oh no, why are you saying that?" I said,
Yeah, horrible.
"Oh." She's like, well, you shouldn't be talking to him that way." I said, "Oh." but no, nothing.
Yeah.
I said, "Wow, sometimes, I could just be very to the point." And good thing,
I think, honestly, in that sense, it's a good thing I am the way I am, because
Yeah.
a lot of men would be like, all right, yo, I'm tired of this.
I mean, that's why you're meant for me. So, and I'm
just
meant
think
for
it's still
you.
very-
Oh.
I don't, yeah.
You're meant. No,
No,
that's what
yes,
you're
no, I was
supposed
gonna
to
say something else. It's all good. It's all good.
No, that you're not. Yeah, you're supposed to say yes.
Yes, yeah,
I'm the only one.
I'm not arguing with that part.
I'm
I was,
the
just,
only
I was gonna
one.
say something else, but it's fine. That's fine.
Latisha, we know he loves you. It's okay.
Like-
Okay.
Stupid.
So this has been your Go with Him and Tea.
And Dej.
And what do you want to say?
And the
This is
Frasers.
Oh, and
Okay, let's try it again. Let's try it again. Let's try
We're
it
gonna
again.
cut that part out, okay?
No, we're gonna leave it. So,
Oh, okay.
so
All right.
I should say no more. Okay, this has been your Go with Him and Tea.
we're gonna say the phrases.
You're dumb, bro.
No, I'm telling the truth. I'm actually telling the truth.
Sorry. Okay, start again.
Okay, this has been your Go with Him and Tea.
And Dej.
And the
The Frasers.
Frasers.
And this is
Dark and Lovely Pod.
Bye, guys.
Big up the
Bye.
podcast. Big up the podcast.